patrons, it's me, Lee, and how are you guys? I'm okay. It's a Saturday. Today I want to talk about how I take my Instagram photos, how I take them, how I set them up, sorry my phone went off, and how I edit them. It's a question I've gotten before, and I've learned a lot since I've started to frequently share my artwork on Instagram, because taking photos of artwork is hard. It is way harder than it seems. I'm taking photos of my artwork. I want it to look as true to the actual piece as possible. I want the whites in the photo to look white. They might not be necessarily 100% white, but I want them to look white. And I want the picture to flow around the artwork so there's a good central focal point. So those are the things I'm going for when I'm taking my photos. If you're familiar with my Instagram feed, I mean, since you're a patron, I assume you've seen it before maybe. But if you haven't, they all pretty much look the same. They're all just like the artwork right in the middle and then things kind of around it to complement it. So let me tell you how my mind works when I'm doing this, and I'll tell you how I edit it. It'll be really great. Hopefully this is information you guys are interested in, because when I started taking pictures of my artwork, it was so hard to figure out how to make it look right. So this is how I do it, and I hope this helps you. Today I drew a little mountain scene with watercolors and colored pencil, kind of what I've been into lately, 100% rainbow stuff. But here's my Instagram photo. This is what I posted today. And then this is the second photo. So I like to have it pretty whitish. I take my photos in my room on my white desk right here, and my walls are white too, so there's not a lot of refracting colors. If you are taking photos in a room that is painted a color, it usually will reflect on your artwork, so keep that in mind. If you can get in a white room, that is ideal, but if you can't, I used to use a big piece of white paper, like a big piece of watercolor paper, underneath all my photos when I had a wooden desk. So having a white background helps me just to keep it simple and keep it bright and keep my feed consistent. You know, it's totally up to you. I love colored backgrounds too, so whatever. What I like to do around my piece is gather things that complement the colors in it. I will usually use the supplies I used and just kind of arrange them around in a nice way. Today I used some colored pencils and a watercolor tube. And then I used, I think I had pencil shavings in it. Yeah, I did. And then I like to put a gemstone in it just for like a extra light, like a different material in the photo, just to keep it a little interesting. And then another thing I like to include in my photos is just like a pop of color piece of paper. I've been using pink envelopes. So there's a pink envelope in this photo, and then also if you have sketches or anything that kind of matches it, a series, thumbnails, things like that, I like to have that included in the photo so it kind of gives you an idea of like a process feel. I don't know, I just like it. So as for taking the photo, I usually take like a million just in case they're not in focus or I'm moving or blurry or like they're a little bit up and down. I probably take like 20. So the more photos the better usually. I forgot to mention this, but my desk is right in front of a window. You're gonna want natural light. How did I miss this? I don't know, but you're gonna want natural light if you can get it. I never take photos without natural light. Get as close to the window as you can. I used to open my window, but now I don't. It does make a difference sometimes. If it's really cloudy, I will still open it because my window is a little tinted. So for editing, I use the Instagram editor. I don't use anything else. Sometimes I crop on just photos, but I don't use any other editors. What I start with is bumping the brightness all the way up. I usually will take the brightness all the way up to where it lets me. And what you find when you do that is that you lose your vibrancy of colors. So you just need to bump that saturation up just a little bit, not too much that it looks crazy bright and weird, but just to make it look more realistic to what it looks like in real life. Sometimes when you bump up the saturation, things turn orange or yellow. So in order to fight that, I add a cool tone shadow. So I go into the color section and I add in either like I usually will go with a dark blue, but sometimes if it's really yellow, I will use the purple, or sometimes I use the lighter blue. and I have it just like at a moderate range around like 20. I don't really know what the numbers stand for, but I feel like I usually have it at like a 20. And then what I also do is add a little bit of pink into the highlights. I don't like to add a lot of tint to the highlights because I like my whites to look white. But sometimes I feel like the highlights turn out a little bit green or yellow, and I think the pink helps that, and also all my photos have it on it, so they all look really consistent with that pinkish tone on top. After I adjust the colors and try to make it as true to the original artwork as I can, I will sometimes bump up the highlights if I don't think that the whites are bright enough, and then I will adjust the shadows up or down. It's not consistent on that. Sometimes I will make them darker if I feel like the photo isn't even, or I'll make them lighter just wherever I feel like they need to be. And then yeah, that's pretty much all I do to edit my photos. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but if you upload like a multiple photo stack thing, it will show your viewers your photos twice to show you the extra photos that you added. So I feel like adding that extra detail shot, which I did do today, does help you get a little bit more exposure. Not sure if that's real, but just something I've noticed. And then that's all I do to take my photos. I find that having a consistent Instagram feed is something that I look for in other people's work. It's just, when I see an Instagram feed that's very consistent, I find that I feel like I can count on that person to post things that I will consistently like, instead of like things that are kind of all over the place. And you can help doing that by having your photos edited similarly or having a similar subject. But yeah, that's kind of how I look at it as like a viewer of other accounts. If they have a flow, I'm like, oh, this looks nice. I like all of these things, and I would definitely commit to following this because I like all the things. Maybe that's helpful. So yeah, if you have any questions about Instagram photos, like tips on how to arrange your photos, edit them, what you want to have for your Instagram feed, if you think I can answer any questions for you of that, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I will do my best to answer them. And that's all for this. I think I said all I needed to about Instagram photos. And just heads up to everybody, I'm going out of town at the end of this month for like a week. Yeah, like a week, exactly a week. On the 28th I'm leaving, and then I'm coming back on the 5th, and I'm going to Florida with James and his mom because his side of the family lives there and they invited me. So I'll be there for a week. So I might be a little absent. Sorry. But yeah, thank you guys for your continuing support. I hope you guys liked this video. I'll see you later. Bye.